Good morning. I'm Belén, and I would like to tell you a story. This is with this, right? Okay. This is Maria. She's in her 80s and has early stage dementia. Maria spends her morning at a private but publicly subsidized daycare center. One of Maria's friends is Juan, and unlike Maria, he's no longer able to play chess, and he can only play with simple puzzles. Maria notices this and thinks, why does her friend Juan have to play with little kids' games? And this is where Asterisk comes into play. But why Asterisk? As you may know, in written text, this symbol is used to indicate a footnote, an omission, or a correction. And this is exactly what we want to do. We want to make a correction on the cliché that games are only useful in childhood, adapt existing mechanisms of traditional board games into a new open language, create an exception on existing products on the market, and integrate the two main lines of therapy in a daycare center into a cohesive and adaptable approach. And how do we do this? Well, as dementia progresses, it can also disrupt praxias, which are a set of cognitive skills that we use in our daily lives. We have two types, ideatory, like holding a pencil, and visoconstructive, which is the ability to order elements in space, like making a puzzle. These praxias also correspond to the two main lines of therapies at a daycare center. For fine motor skills, they work on exercises that are very repetitive and not linked to anything. And for cognitive stimulation, they will play with traditional board games like chess or tic-tac-toe. But as dementia progresses, they will move on to easier ones, such as small puzzles. And this is what happened to Juan. Together with the therapies, we even identified points for improvement, such as more hygienic materials, boards that will remain fixed on the table, and above all, finding a language that will not infantilize in more advanced stages. Asterisk combines these two in a single product, that adapts to the progression of dementia. The components of the game are the tokens, the modules, the plates, and the templates. Each token is a formal translation of the action of each praxia. There are 6 tokens, so 6 praxias. Modules are based on the asterisk geometry, and their circuits give us a system to move the tokens and generate a language of our own. These modules are fixed on plates that can be added up like a grid system. Think about Lego, for example. Combining these modules, you get 3 different templates. In a pre-diagnostic, early or mild phase, complex strategy games such as chess or tic-tac-toe are proposed. As they progress to an intermediate phase, Asterisk adapts by introducing reference templates like letters or numbers. And while communication may become more challenging in advanced stages, Asterisk provides a basic geometric motifs as a non-verbal means of engagement. Now, when Maria and Juan will go home in the afternoon, their occupational therapist will recommend their family to continue these exercises at home, but there was a lack of these products in the market. So Asterisk can be used in 2 types of scales, in a larger residential context and in a home environment. Occupational therapists can use one single system that adapts to the needs of each resident, and caregivers and family members can continue the exercises at home. This is translated into 2 sets, the care set and the home set. The care set for up to 6 users, residents' homes, and the home set for up to 2. If they want to make the system bigger, they could get ampliation sets. Now, if the toy sector is very much focused on the infant stage, but Spain's population pyramid is inverting, and that of many other countries, why don't we start making toys for elderly people? There are less and less kids every year and more older. There are 3,554 daycare centers in Spain, and 900,000 people suffer from dementia and need a product like Asterisk. This whole design process has been done in one of these daycare centers. In our opinion, this is one of the strongest points of Asterisk, that we test the co-design process in a local daycare center with elderly people in their specific ecosystem and in an iterative way. learning from them through co-design. And here's a video.
Cuando Belén se puso en contacto con nosotras, una alumna de la Universidad de Navarra, nos hizo mucha ilusión que pensara en Solera y sobre todo lo que nos gustó fue lo que nos proponía, diseñar un producto pensado para las personas mayores y las personas que en este caso pues, tienen un deterioro cognitivo o un tipo de demencia. Nos sirvió para adaptar más un poquito el producto a la psicomotricidad fina y un poco a la discapacidad que puedan presentar estos usuarios. Al final el producto que se ha desarrollado es muy cómodo para que ellos lo puedan utilizar y algo que tiene muy bueno es que evoluciona conforme a la enfermedad de estas personas. Un producto más significativo y más digno y totalmente adaptado a las necesidades de estos usuarios. Que en un mundo tan digital y esta brecha digital que afecta a nuestros usuarios, una universidad como Stanford apueste por un producto que es más manipulativo y más accesible para ellos. Que pongan el foco en estas personas en la tercera edad da valor a este producto y al concurso que se plantea en Stanford.
What is the cost of the product?
The cost of each product? It will be in line of the board games in the market, more or less. For the care set, it will be around 60 euros. And for the home set, I had it there. It's up here. Around 20 or so, I believe. This one? No, this one. 30, 40 euros.
And that's the cost, or that's what you're selling it for?
Sorry, what we're selling for. If I'm being completely honest, we do not know. This is the next stage, validating, as Perry said in his keynote, we have to validate what our distribution and production model is going to be. So Asterisk was first born as an open source project where users could download, all of this is 3D printed. So users could download the STL files through that platform and produce it themselves through 3D printing. The cost for a module like this, it will be around 2 euros to make. But it also has potential to be a commercialized set. So we'll have to look maybe injection molding. It's a bit complex to give you, but those are some estimates.
And is there anything like it in the market?
No, as I try to explain, there are products like this. What we are doing is readapt existing mechanisms of traditional board games into a new language. The problem that these resins have was that, for example, making puzzles when dementia was in a very advanced stage, they would use puzzles for little kids. So imagine a 70-year-old playing with a Peppa Pig puzzle. There are things, but not suitable or with a language that dignifies the elderly.
Can you talk about your team and advisors who are helping you with this?
So Andres is here. He was my professor at the university, and Emilio advises us from Stanford. We've been working with a local daycare center in Spain with all the stakeholders, their families, the caregivers, occupational therapists, and but we do need to gather more people in our team, especially for the business part or the production part. I'm a designer, but I don't really understand that much about business, so that will be the next step.
What data do you have that supports this game actually does support a lifelong outcome or a healthy transition through dementia?
Okay, so the game supports the transition for when a person is diagnosed with dementia from the first stage to the last one, but also for their caregivers. When someone, imagine how do you say, the daughter of someone with dementia, it also supports that transition where she can access material suitable for them that is going to help them with their caregiving duties. Sorry, my English is a bit broken. If you don't understand me or whatever, let me know.
You're doing great. So I just had a question about, because of the different stages of dementia, have you been testing with the different stages? And what have you seen about usage?
We did, throughout the process, 4 sessions of validation, and in each one, we had people with different stages. So also within, so we have 3 levels, but every level has different exercises that are kind of like progress from more easier to more difficult. And this was things that the occupational therapist told us in these sessions.
So is your strategy to go into these daycare centers first, and the units that go home, are they selling it or are you selling it?
Exactly. So the thing will be to first, because so families will know of Asterisk because of the daycare center. So first we will go into daycare center with a larger set, and eventually, when that is settled, we will go into home environments, but we will be selling those. But as I said, we are not sure still what this model is going to be. So we need to validate a bit of what is the most effective way to put Asterisk out there. Okay, thank you.